And the final section is on how matter and energy flows in ecosystems. So um, we're going to take a look at those two concepts in regards to matter and energy and the laws of thermodynamics. All right. So the first law of thermodynamics is that matter and energy cannot be created or destroyed. So that's going to deal more with how things cycle or flows. The second law of thermodynamics is the law of entropy, which means disorder. And in this regard, what it shows is that energy gets lost as heat. So we have to keep adding energy into the system to keep things ordered, to keep organisms complex and ordered. We have to keep adding energy to the system. All right, so the first thing that we'll talk about is the cycles part, and then we'll talk about how the energy flows. So there's essentially three different cycles that I want to talk about. The first one we can do is simple. It's the water cycle. So water cycle, I think we all remember the water cycle. Got your water, you've got your land, all right? And essentially what happens is evaporation. The sun causes evaporation. Then as it cools off, you get condensation. The wind blows the clouds, and then you get precipitation. All simple stuff so far. Then we get into the slightly more complex stuff. So we have the movement of water through plants is an extremely important concept in biology because that's how plants get all their nutrients. And so we call that transpiration. Now, water can obviously run off down into the streams and then into the ocean, but an important part of the water cycle is this idea that water gets into the ground. That's called infiltration. And then an extremely important part is this idea that you have groundwater. It's called an aquifer. We'll just call it groundwater. And in order for the water to get there, after it infiltrates the soil, it has to percolate through the soil. Percolation is an extremely important concept in how to refresh groundwater because it filters it and it refreshes it. And then, of course, it can come out in lakes and in oceans and sometimes in springs. Right? So that's the water cycle. Now, the cell respiration and the photosynthesis section showed you the carbon, oxygen. All right, so the carbon dioxide oxygen cycle works kind of together. So you have your plants, and then you have your animals, the carbon dioxide goes in to plants via photosynthesis. Then the carbon goes over to animals as glucose, and then the carbon dioxide gets returned to the atmosphere through cellular respiration. But also through cellular respiration, oxygen comes in, becomes water, which then gets split back up, split in the light reactions, and goes back up. So that's your CO2 oxygen cycle. Now there is a lot of carbon, or carbon oxygen cycle. There's a lot of carbon that gets stored as fossil fuels, and it can get stored in the ocean, and it can get more complicated, but that's simple. Carbon, oxygen. And then the final one is the nitrogen cycle. Now nitrogen is a diatomic gas, but it actually is triple bonded, so it's pretty strongly held together. So that's your nitrogen gas. So the only way to get your nitrogen gas into the ground or into solids, nitrogen fixation, is to use microbes. So nitrogen gets in by microbes, which are actually mostly nitrogen fixing bacteria. So remember, fixation means to turn a gas into a solid. Right. Over here, we had carbon fixation. Now from here, the nitrogen can be taken up into plants. They're all a nice tree again. And once the nitrogen is turned from a gas to a solid, it can go through transpiration into the plants. Why? To make amino acids or proteins, to make nucleotides or nucleic acids. Important concept. Why is nitrogen important? Now, that plant can also, die. And if the plant dies, so now the plant has died, dead plant, and that nitrogen can go back into the soil, go back up, or microbes can release it back into the atmosphere. And so that's the nitrogen cycle. It's very important that we get it into living systems. Right? So one of the important concepts here is that matter is a closed system, because for all intents and purposes, it doesn't leave this ecosystem that we have. What can move around, it can go from one area to another, but it doesn't leave Earth for the most part. And the next one, we'll look at energy and how energy flows.